Now, I'm not going to tell you AI is going to change everything. I'm not going to show you a list of tools, and I'm not going to tell you that if you're not using it right now, you're going to get left behind. You've heard all that, we all have, and most of us have started tuning out. I know I have, completely. What I'm going to tell you is something I've lived through twice already, and I think it's happening again. Almost 25 years ago, I was running a computer parts business. 9 years I ran that, and for most of that time, the way you got customers hadn't really changed. Word of mouth, local advertising, relationships, you knew your market and your market knew you. Then something really shifted. Customers started coming in already knowing the price. They'd ring up and say, hey, they found us through a search. They'd done their research before they even picked up the phone. I started asking, where are these people coming from? Literally, my store was in the middle of nowhere. Where are they coming from? And that question led me to SEO. And at that time, most businesses had never heard of it. It felt like a secret, like you'd found a lever nobody else had spotted yet. The businesses that figured it out early, they built rankings, they built traffic, and they built an online customer base, while their competitors were still doing things the old way. Then, of course, everyone caught on. SEO got competitive, the easy wins dried up, and it got harder and more expensive. But the early movers, they were already years ahead. And there's one example of this that really sticks with me from that era. I don't know how many of you remember Froogle. You could list your products on the first page of Google. People could find them, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Completely free traffic. For an e-commerce business selling computer parts, it was incredible. If you were in early, you were getting product visibility that other businesses were paying for elsewhere, completely free. Then, Google turned it into what we now know as Google Shopping. Paid listings. The free ride was over. But here's the interesting thing. When it went paid, a lot of businesses panicked and walked away. There was a short-term dip, but the businesses that leaned in, that were willing to pay because they already understood the value of the traffic, they absolutely cleaned up. And their competitors just vacated the channel. And that's what I had. The window didn't close, it just changed shape. And people already in position to take full advantage of it. And I was one of those that fully embraced it. And at the peak, I was spending over 100 grand of my own money a month on shopping ads, selling computer components. I don't know if any of you remember digital photo frames. We were importing them from China by the container load and selling over 50% through shopping channels and Google Shopping that many other competitors had abandoned. A few years later, I watched this happen again. Facebook ads. And I remember the conversations. I don't think my customers are on Facebook. We tried it. It didn't work. Feels gimmicky. Meanwhile, some businesses were quietly building entire customer acquisition machines at a fraction of the cost it will be just a few years later. And here's the thing about new channels. When they're new, they're cheap. Competition is low, the platforms are desperate for advertisers, CPMs are low, clicks are cheap, and if you know what you're doing, the returns can be extraordinary. Then it matures, more advertisers, more people pile in, costs climb, suddenly the same results cost 3 times as much. The window, it closes. I watched the same thing with organic social. Brands built massive Facebook followings and got enormous reach for free. Then the algorithm changed. Reach collapsed almost overnight, and you had to pay for what used to be free. Same pattern, different channel, different year. So here we are. Every week, another article, another video, another LinkedIn post telling you AI is going to change everything. And honestly, most people have stopped listening. I get it. But strip out the hype and ask a simpler question. Is behavior changing? Because that's the only thing that really matters. Right now, people are starting their research in AI tools. They're asking ChatGPT what to buy. They're asking Claude to recommend a service provider. They're asking Gemini to compare their options. That's not a trend, that's a shift in how people discover, evaluate, and ultimately decide. Someone wants a new running shoe, they're asking ChatGPT which one to buy for wide feet and long distances. Someone's looking for a new coffee machine, they're asking Claude to compare 3 models under, say, £200. Someone needs a laptop for their kids starting university, they're not going to Google first anymore. In some instances, they're asking an AI, getting a recommendation, and then going on to buy it. Now that is not a trend. That's a huge shift in how people discover, evaluate, and decide. And it's happening with physical products right now. When people changed how they searched, SEO mattered. When people moved their attention to social, social ads mattered. Now people are changing how they make decisions. Something is going to matter here too. I don't have the complete playbook yet. Nobody does. And if someone tells you they do, I would be very skeptical. But I do know what is starting to work. And a few weeks ago, I put together a presentation on exactly this, presented it to an audience of over 2,000 people, and the response was pretty overwhelming, so I'm going to link to it below. But here's the core of what I shared. AI doesn't rank pages, it cites answers. So the question shifts from, can Google find my product page, to, does my content answer the question the way an AI expects? Think about how people actually ask AI about products. They're not typing running shoes, they're asking what are the best running shoes for flat feet under £80 or $100. Your content needs to mirror that. Direct answers, conversational, specific. The second thing, and this is the big one, is owning your topic, not just your keyword. Google and other LLMs both reward brands that dominate a subject area, not just a single page. If you sell EDC knives and you have one product page, you're pretty much invisible. If you have a full cluster of content, what is the best EDC knife, EDC knives under £50, EDC knife laws in the UK, how to maintain one, you become the brand that owns the conversation. The AI has no choice but to surface you. And the numbers back this up. Adobe tracked over 1 trillion retail site visits in Q1 of 2026. And AI referred traffic to e-commerce sites grew 393% year on year compared to the same period in 2025. That's not a future thing, that's now. This is the window, and the window doesn't stay open forever. But the businesses paying attention right now, experimenting right now, building visibility in AI systems right now, they're going to look back in the same way the early SEO adopters look back on 2005. This is the window, and the window doesn't stay open forever. I'm not telling you to panic. I'm not telling you to throw out what's working. SEO absolutely still matters. Paid social still works. The businesses that built those foundations early are still benefiting from them today. They just had to work harder to maintain them once the window closed. That's the point. When you see a shift in how people behave, that's not a signal, not the hype, not the headlines, the behavior. I saw it in the early 2000s with search. I saw it again with social media, and I'm watching it right now with AI. You don't have to bet the business on it, but if you're not at least paying attention, not experimenting, not learning, you're making the same mistake a lot of businesses made when SEO was brand new, when Facebook ads were cheap, when the window was wide open. And the thing about windows is, you only really notice them when they close. If any of this resonates, drop a comment. I'd love to know what shifts you're seeing in your own industry. And if you want to talk about this and what this actually looks like for your business, the link's below. See you on the next one.